Morning, Sam.
Morning.
Alrighty.
Did you already go through the Dixie?
Nope, nope. I was getting everything up and running, so I am just now starting. I did go through the Dixie on my video though,
YouTube?
but
Yeah.
I will go over it real quick. Basically, and for those who didn't get a chance to see my YouTube video, the monthly last month was inside bar. This month is looking like it wants to go two down, I think, and even more so, the weekly confluence is very similar. The weekly last week was outside bar, so um, even more reason for me to be suspicious of a bearish trend. Um, so, what are your thoughts on Dixie, Sam? More so, the
I
weekly
marked up the beginning
confluence.
of the month as well. That was last week. And if you're going to go with that accumulation, manipulation, distribution, etc., and you think of that as the monthly bar, that initial push last week would kind of play like that, like you're
Mm-hmm.
saying. You push up, you drop for the month.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It wants to go two down on the month for sure. Get this YouTube link out.
And I think it's pretty interesting on the month too. If you look at like that price level at $1.1082, that it just cleared into a fair value gap, kind of rebalanced some of that.
Dollar 8.82.
Oh, that's the wrong pair. That doesn't help.
Yeah, so overall this week I am leaning bullish, or sorry, bullish. The complete opposite actually, bearish on the dollar. So gonna be looking this week um for Aussie dollar, euro, pound, New Zealand dollar all to be bullish, and then USD CAD, GPY, and CHF to be bearish. I do have some levels marked out on looks like just the daily. Weekly actually took some more liquidity and is kind of sitting at a low point on Aussie dollar this week on the weekly chart. Um, Weekly above. Get this going here. Weekly above here would be a strat entry. Get an alert here. So I'll set an alert there for that. So far on the daily, we are selling off. I If I go over to the lower time frames, which would be the hourly and 15-minute. Yeah. Both of those are very bullish. Oh, I'm on Euro USD. There we go. AUD USD just bouncing off this order block on the hour and the 15-minute fair value gap. It's sitting at the golden zone right now, so what would be super ideal? Let me actually check news before I do anything. But news, GBP has news at 11 a.m. Thanks for barking, Finn. Really need that. Yeah, that's the only red folder news today. We do have CPI on Wednesday, and CAD monetary policy. New Zealand cash rate on Tuesday night, 10 p.m. USD PPI and consumer sentiment the rest of the week. So actually a pretty big news week. Maybe it was last week I was thinking of where I didn't have a ton of news, but the next week, CAD has CPI and Pound has CPI and New Zealand. US only has, looks like, unemployment and core retail sales. So this week's kind of news heavy, but hopefully it doesn't mess too much up with the overall movement. So I'll be looking something long for Aussie dollar. The euro would have to come back a little bit, I think. Don't you think, Sam?
Yeah, I actually have. I have it marked up right at what I would consider that consequent encroachment from the fourth, right in the middle of that down close bar. I want to see what it does against that. And that's still on the daily, but I think it needs to come down first.
Down by the fourth, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you said the daily chart?
Yeah. But point is I agree. Like, I think we need to retrace a bit first.
Yeah. So you're looking somewhere around 109, 165?
I'm interested to see what it does against 109.14. Even lower.
Okay. Where did you get 1.4 from? The candle open?
Really the bodies. There's just like four of them sitting right at that level.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's pretty close. Either way, you get into that zone, I'm interested in
Yeah.
what it's gonna do.
Sure. Yeah, I've got the buy side liquidity up top here that I'm not really interested in anything until it hits there, and even then I'd have to short it, and I want to be long.
Right.
Um,
If you take it short, I think you're trading counter trend.
yeah, I think you're a good long opportunity could be at this. Let me see. So the whole trend is pretty much here to here. So you'd be pretty much. This is still in a premium, not a discount. But the setup I would look for would be something like this. Cover the fair value gap. And then go up to the buy side liquidity. Almost a 2R, so that would be the most forced trade, I think, but that would be what I. And if you want to target even higher, I think this is going to be higher liquidity, buy side liquidity. Way up here. Oops. So you would be ultimately targeting 3.3. Need to get an emoji on this alert here. Where did my text just go? All the way over here. I like purple. So marked out these points of interest here. I'll clarify that they're daily points of interest. So it does look like that trade would cover those points of interest, but I don't know. I'd still be interested to see what happens later. Could even say that this is kind of the start of the trend. So my stop would be pretty much at the 50 level, which is not ideal. All right, I'm gonna get that done. 1 second. This guy, he's the culprit. Go lay down, Jesus. Just sitting on the couch, not even close to the window, so has no idea what he's barking at.
Dogs are stupid.
I like my dogs, but
I mean,
when
I
they
like my dogs too, but they're stupid.
oh, I agree. Yeah, that's true. IQ level might be at a minimum.
Don't get me wrong.
Alrighty.
Have you decided what you're going to do as far as how many pairs you're going to monitor?
No, and I was watching a couple of the more experienced prop firm guys, they do more than just a couple pairs, but they sit on higher time frame charts. They don't go to lower time frame like the 15 on the lower pairs. So I think that might be what I do. I mean, my win rate with other pairs is still profitable. It's just, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I can definitely, if I'm looking for a trend, I can find a trend and a trade in a 15-minute chart on all the seven majors. So it'll just depend, I think.
I was doing some back testing this weekend. It was just on EU, but
Mm-hmm.
waiting. It's like you were talking about last week, like the ability, the willingness to wait.
Mm-hmm.
It just keeps you out of the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do I want to trade crap?
Yeah. Yeah, I do think like I have a couple of these alerts coming through. I should actually check these ones that got triggered. Oh. So I pretty much just have these set to alert me when liquidity has been swept, and then I set an additional alert on something or another of what I want to of what I'm watching for. So like here on GBP NZD, this is a pretty clear sweep of liquidity up here.
Yeah.
And now it's breaking down. It this is the change of character here.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm looking forward to get back into this fair value gap, but then you're targeting probably the rest of this fair value gap. So something, of course, I hit that stinking space bar. So something like this. You're targeting the rest of this fair value gap, so 2 to 1.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to put 1% risk on that or 0.5%. So yeah, it just kind of depends. What really stinks is I haven't figured out on TradingView how to sync all of my drawings. Like I have, it says the global here, but for some reason these alerts are not triggering from wherever the price was, which I guess I can. No, I can't even see what the price was at the alert, so I can't see where I drew the line. But
I've been having some trouble with my alerts too. I actually was just going through and killing like everything that was on.
mm,
I had a whole bunch set up from what's his name, DeMark. So
right,
I'm just starting over.
yeah, there's some pairs like Euro CHF I might just take off my chart because this is kind of gross, and even when it does move, it kind of has pretty thick pullbacks, and then some more chop, and so
When you're playing across, it's like, why bother?
yeah. Well, like Euro GBP is technically a cross, but it moves a little better than some Euro JPY. It's moving pretty well, but
Right.
yeah. So I don't know what I'll do, but kind of just play it by ear for now. You look at
I'm very strongly considering like pretty much ruling Monday out.
yeah. So I've been thinking the same thing. That when golf season's done, to be done with Fridays, or pick back Fridays and be done with Mondays, because yeah, thinking the same thing. Mondays are just kind of doo doo.
Well, you're also getting your range started. I know that's what one of the things that ICT talks about when you think of range. Like Monday is just okay. Where are we going? It's that manipulation move.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday and Wednesday is where you a lot of times he says will set your weekly level
Mm-hmm.
to trade it to and against. Um, I mean, he has a really simple strategy, and I haven't been able to make it work yet. But he's talked about like you can go in on a Wednesday morning and basically just set off the daily and walk away,
Right.
um, and pull together a profitable strategy. Whether or not I haven't been able to make it work. But
Here's a hourly change of character on gold. Interesting.
Gold's in a weird spot though.
You think so?
I think because I mean, look at again. I'm starting at the daily. It's just I don't know. There's a fair value gap above it. It just swept some liquidity. And there's a fair value gap below it. So it's like, okay, where do I think this is going?
I think
I think it's probably short.
I think the magnet is here to this sell side liquidity.
I think you're right.
I don't necessarily know if it's going to get down here, but I do think it's a short. I mean, I get this for no doubt. I get that. In fact, that what's that?
What I'm just looking at now as I look at this more carefully is you've got an order block that it's bouncing on from all the way back in March.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if it breaks through there, yeah, it's gonna rebalance, I think, a lot. And I agree with you. We're generally bearish on that one.
I think to cover your high knee, you'd have to have an 8-point stop, but price target is 32 points away, so. All right, so Aussie dollar is kind of invalidating what I wanted to do, so take that off for now. I think the patient play is to wait for a liquidity sweep, break a structure, fair value gap, and something like that.
Yeah,
I think that is the patient play. See how that pans out. Pound is coming back into a fair value gap. It's already been broken. Not sure why that's still up, but coming into an order block and fair value gap. Euro is starting to come down too. ZD just had its change of character to come down. So if you look at GBP CHF 1 hour time frame, it's good set up to go long. I will take a peek. Here's CPI. Actually, I didn't even notice. Or not. LOL. That's why I didn't notice. It's because CPI is not until Wednesday. I am off my rocker this morning. LOL. USD CAD is starting to retrace. Just grabbed some sell side liquidity. Throw in USD CHF in here too. UJ is looking a little long. Ooh. UJ might be a textbook long here. Literally just sweeping liquidity here. So waiting for a break of structure up here, which would be a change of character. And then likely this fair value gap if I'm wanting to go short, or sorry, go long. Gold is starting to work out a little. GBPCHF, that's what you said. It's a good opportunity to go long, he said. On the hour. Maybe. I don't see it for my system. I would want it to come down a little more, at least there. But GBPCHF is one of those that I might take off because this whole, I mean, literally from Tuesday until Monday at 3 a.m. This is just horrible price action. Even here, you're getting chop, chop, chop. Big move, chop, chop, chop. Small move, chop, small move, small move, small move, big move. I'd like to see lots of medium-sized moves. So let's go back here. Oh, don't you love when you see this? That was my, are we going long or short on Friday? Sent that out in the channel. Funny stuff. Grab liquidity here.
Well, that's just end of week sell off, I think.
Maybe, but
I mean, maybe not. But like the whole Friday is just a weird thing. It's like Monday.
well, oh, you're saying this was the sell-off?
No, not necessarily. Well, which one is that?
Because this is Sunday.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But this is Friday. Friday then came down to this fair value gap I had marked.
Friday's a weird day. Sometimes I do well.
Yeah.
I think you could build a strategy around Fridays. A lot of times it just closes at the end of the week, the opposite of what it's been running.
So I do see this buy side liquidity going on. And we didn't really make a big retrace up. If anything, you might have gotten this one here as a retrace. Pretty risque, but guess depends on your strategy. Odd CAD, I'd be trying to short this thing this week. More than likely. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably be trying to short that. Which means I'd want to short all the Aussie pairs. Except for USD. And this is part of the struggle that I go with, Sam, is some of these pairs I want to go long and some of them I want to go short within the same currency.
Yeah, I had one 2 weeks ago. USD CAD, USD Swiss. We're long on one, short on the other. I
Yeah.
think that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like I saw the setup on both, but it's like then you start playing multiple time frames, and I was like, this isn't worth the headache.
Yeah.
Easy was talking about a indicator you grab.
Oh yeah, this one, Sonar Labs, just testing it out. I did buy it for a quarter, probably a little ambitious of me, but it at least just marks out the ICT stuff for me.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure how I like it, but so far it's pretty decent. Looks like it's auto drawing some good fibs at least from this swing low that high. So yeah, we'll see. Like I wouldn't see this buy side liquidity up here unless I went way left. So
Yeah.
it's just nice to see. So change the character here. Fair value gap left behind. Could be looking short on the daily, but I'm not on the daily, so that was a good one there. Yes, I'm just testing out Sonar Labs. We'll see. It is nice if I'm going to be cycling through all of the pairs, but if I end up just going back to USD and gold, then there's no reason after the 3 months for me to have it. But it's only $60, so
Yeah.
so it might be beneficial to keep the human element away from it, you know.
Right.
But and I still need to watch all their videos because they do have a lot of documentation on what they're, what they would be looking for using their indicators and such. So,
It's Sonar Labs.
mm-hmm. Yep. Do I have an alert set on this? I don't think so.
Reminds of Notion page. It looks like.
What's that? They have an Ocean page?
Well, I mean, looks like it. It looks like Notion. Looks like Notion on crack.
Where do you see that?
Sorry, like if you go to Notion, it's maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's IO, not SO. It's just a different URL. That's nice.
Yeah, they also have, if you look at my chart, they have this multi-time frame, which comes up in the top corner here eventually and says what the structure is on higher time frames, which I can change. If I'm on the hourly, I want to be on see the daily and the weekly, right? So I'll be able to change that. And then now I can see what the daily time, or the daily chart has breakage structure red, change character red, and then weekly has change character and break structure. So if I go to the daily time frame, I'll see that we had a break of structure red. We just passed change of character red. Then if I go on the weekly, the last thing was internal break of structure, and swing was change of character way back here. So if you're wanting to be, I guess it's, if you want to be with the trend, you're playing the swing structure. If you want to be with a scalp, you want to be in the internal structure. I'm still trying to understand. Like this would give some people paralysis analysis. All these lines. So if you're not careful, that's where it can get kind of confusing. But still trying to figure out what this clock is.
Well,
it says
all about time price theory. So I wonder if that has anything to do with where you're at in the market cycle.
Yeah. Let me go to
kill zone for
clean pair. Yeah,
fine.
if I get rid of the extra stuff here, I don't want to see order block. Don't want to see alerts. This would be interesting to test with later, but I just want to see. This is pretty much just for me to see higher time frame stuff. So then I can show this. It shows this is the breaker structure on the weekly chart. Daily breaker or change character here. So anywho, looks like on the daily we might have swept some liquidity on the upside, so we should absolutely be looking short, at least for a retrace to go end up going long on Dixie. Dixie absolutely swept liquidity right here. So Dixie might be short-term long. So, and that gold is playing out over there.
Yeah, it is.
I've really been enjoying adding some sell stops or stop orders in general to my trades that I want to get a little heavier into my winners. Like I did that on that gold.
Basically,
And
as they break through.
what's that?
Basically, as they break through.
Yeah, so at least I'm buying into strength.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but my phone didn't charge. Gonna have to fix that. I'm at 25%. Haven't even started the day. What if the president calls me?
I mean, you'll be confused.
So will he. Oh, and it just took me out. 3.4%.
Did you play that?
Mm-hmm. I did. Took me out of that. That one I was more confident in, especially with that hourly change of character.
Yeah.
But
yesterday.
Important man.
Yeah, not really.
Do you know what inducement is in the ICT world?
I do not. I can make a guess.
They have it. They have it right here. Looks like kind of like price above
Where is it?
on the right here on my mouse.
I get it. It's basically what they're saying is retail mindset is it's time to go long.
Sure.
It's a liquidity sweep. They're inducing them to play a breakout.
Got it.
That makes sense. And then look exactly what it does.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I actually am sitting on a video I made on Sunday. I'm waiting for the thumbnail to come out. But it's going to be titled "Why Support and Resistance Doesn't Work," and it's pretty much just going over liquidity grabs and why they work, and how to predict them and what to watch for and stuff. So,
have you gotten into ICT's like defining support and resist where it actually is? It's interesting.
How does he do that? Because you don't really know how high up it's going to wick, do you?
So let me use an example to try to explain this. So look at that EU on the hourly. You see right in, it's hard to see, but oh, you just changed it.
Well, that's I was on Euro odd there.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you want EU?
It's fine. Right there. Sorry. See that 2-1 right in the middle?
Which one?
Big one. Big bars. 2 big bars.
Oh, this is a 2-3.
Sorry, 2-3.
Yeah.
You could almost consider that as a potential like real actual support, right at the top of those bodies.
Okay. At the bodies, not the wicks.
And bodies, wicks, like that's a zone where,
Okay.
where you, like you'd be interested to see, okay, what's it going to do? But then support below that, where I'd be more interested is at the top of that little crest below there, because you've also got a correlating order block. So push your cursor up a bit, up. It's at like $1.64.
So where are you getting this price from?
Keep going to the right up there where you were.
Oh, here.
Right up there. So you've got
Let me clean this up.
Orders that are sitting. Oh, you just took it off. You got a bunch of right there.
This is a long position down here.
Yeah. You've got a bunch of orders theoretically sitting, and
that you're thinking's right here.
Correct.
Okay.
So you've got a correlating order block right in the middle of that push through that level.
Just because this is what propelled us through is kind of what you're thinking. This pullback is what pushed us through.
Correct. And then you've got to the left of that, that bit of a crest, right? Kind of roll your mouse up and over and back to the left.
On the hourly chart or 15?
On the hourly. Yeah, that little crest right there, that's what you'd be interested in. It correlates with that hour block. I wouldn't be surprised to see it bounce off of that.
Right. So you're thinking this kind of
Yep.
something here.
I think that's often how he plays actual support and resistance.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go down there. It's going to pick up some additional liquidity, and it's going to bounce and keep going potentially to pick up that liquidity at the top, which I see. Yeah.
Oh, Joshua says XAU USD long. I'm thinking about entering. I predicted this exact move last night. Well, it was short before now. Like heavy short. And I try my best to not catch falling knives. So For me, I would not be looking long, not for a while. I mean, if it's going to go, it's targeting this sell side liquidity here. Um, obviously it can bounce anywhere, but this is kind of the next price target for me. Down at 1902.
Are you thinking for like to catch a little bit of a retrace back up into the before it goes short?
1 second. Is 1902.75. It definitely, I mean, I would expect the next hourly candle to at least pull back a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't play that.
So I mean, I'm talking like the open of the move. I would expect to pull back just to grab more liquidity to go short again. But I am not looking long. And then, I mean, you look at the swing structure. You have the daily is green, the weekly is undecided, and the hourly is clearly red. So, and I don't even think the daily is very green. I think it just barely broke structure somewhere. I don't even know where they're getting that from. Hide this. They're thinking this was the break of structure, but it was just a wick. So, yeah. So Sam, how much do you play order blocks?
I'm starting to plan more.
Okay.
Because otherwise, what I'm finding, and this is more in back test than anything.
Right.
I'm starting to find that if you're not willing to play an order block, your stops are going to be huge.
Okay, gotcha. I think with my stops, I end up playing an order block anyway,
Yeah,
just coincidentally. Like for example, if I were to play this fair value gap here, my entry would be here, and my stop would be above the candle that creates a fair value gap, which covers that order block.
Correct. That's actually the move that I would wait for.
Yeah. Well, I'm stop loss break even right now, so
You're in good shape.
yeah, it's up. I already captured 3.4% of profit, so
It's because you're a dirty bastard.
Pretty much could be done for a while. But I need to make up for those. Not really. That's a bad way to think of things. But
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I need to make up for the bad week of chop. Yeah. Hey, that's not revenge. I didn't take an L. I just want to.
Okay.
I just wanted to force some trades. Just let me force some trades. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing ever goes wrong when you force trades. This is sarcasm for everyone wondering. Everything in the world goes wrong with a force trade. Anywho. Alright. Let me do a quick cycle because I have not looked at these. Where's my sell side liquidity? See, it thinks the sell side liquidity is way down here, which it might be. There's probably a setting in here to find the liquidity and make it a little more.
Well, here's what's interesting about that, and I could see why they would be making that argument. You just swept a whole bunch on the long side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're making, like, you're failing to make higher highs, like real higher highs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So now I'd be interested on that one. Like, what do we do as far as breaking down on the hourly?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a lot of liquidity it just swept.
Yeah, there's the liquidity I was looking for. It's there on the hourly chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cycle through these during the day. And I might not play them. I might just send the charts and see how they pan out and kind of watch. Because I know I know the USD pairs pretty well, obviously. But we'll see. This definitely helps the swing structure kind of just helps me. It's a visual check. Like, hey, stupid, don't go short here unless you're ready to go against the trend.
Well, I'm looking for an indicator that I know Margin uses, and it's have it on some of my charts, but not all. It's called FTFC Viper, and the E is with a 3, and it does the same thing except it has a percentage move, which is kind of nice. Like, can't find it. Like, I'm not seeing.
I just found it.
Oh, look at you go! There it is.
VIP 3RR.
Yep. Like I like the percentage there.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it could be good for you. Let me see where, if I can move where this is. It's at the very top right of my chart.
You can. Like mine's in the middle. Go to table position.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just tells you what the candle is, though. Not necessarily the structure of the candles.
That's true.
So, I think, because that's what mine does. I mean, I guess I get what you're saying. You want to see how heavy the position, or how green it is, but
maybe.
But I have that in my tool as well. And then I like this a lot, but all right, quick cycles, because I gotta go make an English muffy.
Do you though? Do you need an English muffin?
I need something. I also need to do something that should have happened 30 minutes ago when I woke up, and that is to relieve myself. Gold is coming, or gold, GBP pound is coming back nicely. Let's see if it catches this as liquidity here.
Nice, Josh.
You just hit my short TP2. Nice. I'll you send that out. See what? Josh, are you or Joshua, whichever, are you rounding up or down in your alerts? Hopefully you are. To prevent trade copying from other places. And also the last part of your GPCHF alert is not necessary. It's actually probably not a good idea to say that in terms of trying not to give financial advice. Where are you? Where is your GU? I don't even see your GU. I see a gold in the NZD CHF. It's hard to see which gold like price levels you're looking at because you have all those additional ones on the left, which is fine. Yeah, it does see this. I don't know why I have this as sell side liquidity. Oh, from right here. So the other major part of the Sonar Lab is allowing alerts. So I can set any of these alerts down here. So if I want to just get swing break a structure and change characters. Internals. And then buy and sell side liquidity, or even just buy and sell side liquidity as its own. A lot of these I would actually use. But anywho.
Well, I may have broken my G on Friday.
Your what?
My G key.
Oh. How did you break your G key?
I may have had a moment in a dungeon.
Ah, I see. But what did the G key be? What was that used for?
I may have thrown my
there. Nice.
Whoops.
All right. I'm going to take about 15 minutes and then I'll be